Okay. 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 Work late.
We'd work late together
There we
on all
go.
sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order.
All right. Chats.
Sorry, Doctor.
Late night chats.
I'm not trying to hide anything.
Okay. Order.
It's very interesting that you asked me that.
Patterns.
Mainly he was searching
There
for
we go.
a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters.
Aha! Referral letters.
Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters.
Yes, please.
He was sure there was a pattern in them.
Okay, there we go. So, let's talk about my favorite.
Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like.
Follow her.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. So, Lacey.
I don't know.
Lacey.
I don't know about that.
Lacey killed her neighbor.
I don't know anything.
Lacey is a murderer.
I think you might be barking up the wrong.
I feel like I'm not, though. Wait, which one's Lacey? That's the... Yeah. Jasmine?
No, I can't really answer that.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was trying to talk to Jaya right there. Jasmine.
It's very interesting that you asked me that.
Okay, so
Not some.
we can't talk about those two. Bryce.
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
Worse?
I've got no idea.
Okay. Claire.
Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Elin.
Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
Elin's alibi.
Sorry, Doctor.
Can you check Elin's alibi?
I'm not trying to hide.
What the fuck does it say? Okay, so Elin alibi taxi.
One step ahead of you, boss. Elin was picked up from the pier just after 11 p.m. There is no way she could have got from there to here in an hour.
Right. Mariana. One sec. Mariana. Here. Mariana.
Sorry.
Redheads. Here.
I don't really have anything.
Alright, that's fine. So we just have Nathan. Oh, yeah, Nathan.
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me, though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom.
Tom?
Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby.
Okay, let's get into this, shall we? Hobby?
Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened?
He fell?
He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
Goodbye?
I liked Tom. I never got to say goodbye. I did with Doctor Dekker though, so I suppose that's some closure.
You said goodbye with Dekker?
I liked Tom. I never got to say goodbye. I did with Dr. Dekker though, so I suppose...
Closure.
Dr. Dekker tried to fire me, not long before his murder, so we got to say what we wanted to say then, and I've got the termination letter somewhere. It's not going to stick, obviously. Professor Alderby and the Trust will overrule it, but it's nice to know what he felt about me.
Ah. Okay. What he felt.
I can't help you with that.
What he felt about you.
I don't know about...
Hint. Ben. Oh. Okay. Yeah, let's do that now.
Should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him?
Talk it out.
Good choice. I'll go and see Ben to see if I can get him to call off the dogs. I have no idea what's gotten into him. Perhaps it's his mum.
Mum? Oh, that's a whole lot of things.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Ben's mum?
She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25.
Cuddle?
I'm not trying to hide it.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if she's going to be like, no, I don't want to cuddle you.
Dr. Dekker tried to
Fire you.
I can't help you with...
Tried to fire you.
It's very interesting that you asked me that.
Right. Valentine's.
On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3.
That's what they both said.
Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
So that corroborates Nathan's story. Cancelled.
I don't know.
Okay. We got some notes. Ah. Dr. Dekker called. Yeah, okay. So we kind of got there. So we got something with Jaya on no, we want Jaya. Okay, there we go.
Dr. Dekker tried to fire me not long before his murder, so we got to say what we wanted to say then. And I've got the termination letter somewhere. It's not going to stick, obviously. Professor Alderby and the Trust will
Overrule it.
I think you might be barking up the...
Alderby?
Professor Alderby is a trustee.
There we go.
Did I not mention that?
Trusty.
I think I'm going to get into trouble now. Have you ever heard of secret shoppers? Well, Professor Alderby posed as a patient to test Dr. Dekker. It's just a thing that he does. I'm sure he'll come and visit you at some stage, so please play along.
Play along.
I don't know anything about...
Test.
Test is the wrong word. More like gently guide. Professor Alderby had a lot of good advice to offer the young psychiatrists. He really helps them focus on where the problems are.
Okay.
I think I'm going to get into trouble.
Get into trouble.
This practice is owned by a trust. They make all the money and leave me to make all the decisions, which generally means making lots of money. I headhunted Dr. Dekker. And you?
Headhunted.
I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. Now I've got a flair for recognizing the extraordinary. Both you and Dr. Dekker were extraordinary.
Okay. Extraordinary.
Both Cambridge graduates, both top of the class, both pliable, obedient slaves to my every whim. Yeah, that last one's more of a hope than a must-have attribute.
I serve you, Jaya.
Sorry, Doctor.
Oh. I serve you, Jaya.
I think you might be bar.
I am your slave, Jaya.
I don't know anything.
Okay, well then don't ask for it. Hint. Chaos?
Nobody likes chaos, Doctor. We're supposed to be restoring order, don't you think?
Yes. Okay. Well, I think that's gonna have to be everything. We could hunt down the lost clues, but I think we'll just continue. Yeah. So we're checking the alibi. We can't really talk about Lacey or Jasmine because
I don't know.
Lacey murder.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's move on.
David Hunt.
I can change my skin.
Then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
on
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Okay.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things.
Okay.
There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire.
Claire.
I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, okay. Spiked, huh? Interesting. I wonder if Bryce buried David. What happened with Ben? Ask patients about the paper spike. Too much to do today. Okay. Tuesday, 8th November, myself and PC Holt responded to a call received from a neighbour concerning reported disturbance. We arrived at the address, knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. We then examined the rear of the property, gained entry through the secure patio doors. We entered the property through this door, announced myself by shouting police, did not hear. We searched the premises, upon entering the dining room. Female seated to a man next to a man who was lying on the ground. Man did not appear to be conscious. Both persons drenched in blood, substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls and furniture. I noticed what appeared to be a steak knife on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female. I asked the woman her name, Claire Castleford. Asked if she knew the dead man. She said he was her husband, David Castleford. I asked what happened, and she said that she had killed him. Under arrest for suspicion of murder. Okay. Crime scene report. Victim seated on chair behind the desk, soaked in blood, obvious chest wound. Paper spike protruding from the approximate region of the victim's heart. Between 8:30 and 10:30, victim's body was reportedly discovered 10:20. Examination. Okay. Doctor. No first name. Okay. Well. Okay. So we've got Jaya, we've got everyone. Notes. Let's start with Nathan. I like Nathan. Hello.
The burned Hannah's rocking chair. The day moved forward. It was a good choice. I'm not sure I've got much left of hers now. I've burnt most of it, or given it away, just to make the days move forward. There was a moment when I was attacking a Salvation Army bin. I gave in.
Okay. So, attacking.
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up.
Gave up?
No.
Oh.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement. That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Regret.
I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver. I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement.
Engagement.
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way.
Dating advice?
I signed up for a dating website. It's a bit easy, to be honest. If I message something they don't like, I change it when the day replays. It's not very honest.
Honest?
If I'm being honest, I'd probably rather ask out one of the patients I've seen here. The friendly redhead with the accent.
Mariana?
I'm not trying to hide anything. I just don't.
Okay.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's. I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin.
Accidentally dropped it?
A few weeks ago, It's still sinking in. Suppose living a lie is just the norm nowadays.
Okay. Spike?
I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died.
Okay. How are you feeling? This is probably going to be hello. Yeah, okay. Hannah. Yeah, okay. I guess I need a hint. Dr. Dekker.
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy.
He seems to be doing better. What did he say?
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy.
Turned a bit crazy?
I think that he possibly cursed other people, a bit like he cursed me. Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
Power?
Sorry, drawing a blank.
Ecstatic with power?
I've got nothing.
Alright.
I think that he possibly cursed other people.
Cursed other people?
Curse. Or remembered. I was hoping you'd forget. It's gonna sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him.
I can't remember what he called it. Repeat day?
That's not really relevant.
Alright. Believed it?
I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, you can't just say things and they happen. He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration.
Demonstration?
He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
Hypnotize you?
I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
Scared?
I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along. Keep coming to the sessions. Pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done.
I'm not sure about
It
this
was
guy.
awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know. I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy.
Giving people problems.
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. Even if you don't believe the repeat days, then I clearly have extra mental health problems that he's given me.
Okay.
He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame.
Look at the flame. What flame? Okay.
He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
Flame came out of nowhere. Uh-huh.
He held his hand outstretched.
No, not
He held
hand
his hand
outstretched.
outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand.
Holding a flame in his hand. God damn it.
I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along.
What were you scared he would do? Yep, okay.
I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along. Keep coming to the sessions. Pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done. It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know.
He'd know?
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay, hint time. Why did Dekker want you to forget?
He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore, so I got basic therapist.
Calls?
No, I don't know.
Messages?
I don't know anything.
Basic therapist?
He told me lots of people get depression. To become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
Jaya?
Jaya was a great listener. Much better than Dr. Dekker. I think she would have made a great psychiatrist. Do you know, he tried to fire her.
I do. Fire her?
Yeah, he fired her. Jaya told me about it. You should ask her.
I actually already have. Man, I'm pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna leave Claire to the end. Very obviously. Let's go up the list, but we'll skip Claire. Alright. Cool. Next time.